Right, wonderful. Okay, so this is what you get when you open up iMovie. If the iPads haven't been cleared for a while, they're going to be millions of old projects on there. As mine hasn't been clearly. These are all from a Year 5 class I taught about 4 years ago. But anyway, to make a film on here, so what I would normally do is I would use the iPad photo app to film everything first. So the kids do their plan, we film everything first, and everything is then ready to edit in iMovie. This entire process is so much easier if everything's already done beforehand, because then all you think about is what order you put things in, how it looks. So I'm going to click on plus. I'm going to click on movie. A trailer does lots of the editing for you, and you don't end up with the one to start with. With movie, we want to give the children as much control as possible. So I'm going to click on that. It will ask me if I want to import some videos. So I could, however, if you do that, it puts them straight into your film. So what's best to do is to make sure there's nothing there, click on create movie. There we go, so it'll say select either to insert the timeline or tap the camera to record from the camera. Okay, you can record directly in this app. Again, for me personally, I think it's better to use the iPad camera app first, so the children can see what they've done, and there's less of a sense of making it up as you go along almost. Right, so on the screen we have different areas. So we have, and hopefully you can see my mouse here, the microphone button that will let you record a voiceover. So if you're doing a news report, for example, and you have a silent shot of children walking around the playground, for example, and you wanted to talk on top of it, you could use that. We have the camera icon that will let you add a photo or a video. The transport button, so back to the start of your film, or play from where you are. Undo, it's always worth making sure the children know that undo is there before they mess everything up. Sound options. Here we have our the help button. There are also other options and settings here. You tend to just leave those, I would say, or get the children to just ignore those for the time being. And here at the side we have all the files, our media, because we need to start by adding in a video. So, I'm on an iPad, sorry, forgot about that. So, what I've done is, if the children have recorded video on their iPad, they can click on video, it will be in there. However, I have downloaded some random video files to just show you how to do this. So I have, some very random things. As soon as you select it, it will import it and it will add it into the bottom half here. This is these are the tracks. So this is the track. So we tend to have a video track, and we can have two videos playing at once. Although that tends to try and get confusing at this level, we'd want to avoid that. When you click on this button here, it will also show you the sound track in the order. It's always a good idea to have that so the children know the sound goes with it. It's also a good teaching point for science too. These videos don't have any audio on at the moment, but we can change that in a minute. So that's that one. What I can do with this piece of video is I will have some more settings if I click on it. So there are different things I can do. I can go to, I can split it into smaller chunks, which is something we do. I might want this to start playing, put another video in the middle, and then put another one after it. So let's say we want to go to a different video here. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to select it, and then at the bottom we have different options. So for actions, I can either duplicate this or I can split it into two. And this is where you might talk about to your children about the old days when you actually had film and you had to use a Stanley knife to cut directors had to use a Stanley knife to cut the film into two parts. to edit it. So I now have two parts here, and let's go back to my files. Let's add this random silhouette of a jogger. Nope. Or something else. So give me options, I can add to movie. So I'm going to add it to the movie, and it's going to pop it in where this white line is. That line is where the video plays. Now you'll notice we've got some little squares here. These are transitions. If it's a straight line, it will jump straight from there to there without any effects whatsoever. So if I play that, we have the island, and then bang, we have the camera. Here, this is a fade. So here it'll show both clips at once and mix them together. And that's a stylistic choice children can make. There are other ones. So what I can do is I can click on that, and then it gives me some options. So I can choose to fade in different ways. So at the moment that's a dissolve fade, where it dissolves from one picture to another. Fade does it in a slightly different way. The children can play with these. You can add sound effects, but again, if you're creating a news report or something like that, it's probably something that's best to be avoided. You can also choose how long it takes, and film directors tend to use those to make people feel sad for really short fades from one scene to another. If it's a quick instant one, and very short scenes, that builds up action. Similar to when using short sentences in a story. So let's imagine I'm doing a news report. I'm not going to do a dissolve here. News reports tend not to have them. Now, something else I can do is I want some credits at the start of this. So it's just going to be open, or I just want it over the very first part. Because when I add some credits in, it will add them over an entire chunk of film. So if I added some credits here, it would add them over an entire chunk. I don't want that, I only want it for the first few seconds. So let's click here, and I'm going to split it into 2 bits again. So that means I can just control this bit here, which is where I want my text. Let's click on it. And at the bottom, now we have titles. So let's click on there. There are lots of different ones. Let's have this one here, which is a bit of a newsy one. And then all you do is click on the screen where it says there, and then we can change that. Boom. And then that is done. Let's click play, because we always want to keep looking back and watching it and seeing what it looks like. So that's perfect so far. There are lots of other little things I can do. Let's just get that out of the way so I've got a bit of a bigger screen at the top. Sorry, I just clicked on yeah. To hide the media, you just click on the crosshair. To get it back, you click on the plus. What else can I do? Well, maybe I want this bit in black and white. So again, I'm going to click on that. If I want to split it into bits so it's only part of it in black and white, I can do that now. If not, I can click on filters. There we go. Instagram. Done. I could also change the speed. So if you're doing, I think in year 3, it recommends you do a sports report. You might want to do something in cool slow motion. So I can slow it down a bit. Again, go back to the start. Let's see what it looks like. And that's playing in slow motion. Sorry, I'm using a piece of software called Air Server that lets me see my iPad on the screen. For some reason I can't get rid of the, there we go. Yeah, now something else I might want to do is I might want to add some music. So let's go to plus. I can click on audio at the bottom. It will show me any music that's on there. There are some sound effects I can add in. So let's say I want an alarm. So let's click on plus. I want that in there, and I can then hold it and drag, click on it, and then hold my finger down like when you're trying to delete an app, and drag it to where I want it to be, and then I can click on it, and again I can split it into 2 bits. I can change the speed, and more importantly I can change the volume. I could also, if I wanted to, get it to fade out at the end, so then when you click that it changes the boxes. So if I move that back, it's going to get quieter and slow, and the volume will change slowly at the start and the bottom. Something else I forgot to say, when you click on it, you'll notice you've got thick yellow bars at the end. You can use those to change the length, to cut the bit off the start end or off the start. Let's have some music. So if I go back to audio, I can click on my music here, and then it will has all the songs I have on here, which is probably none at all. Don't even have the oh wait a sec, go back, sorry, soundtracks, there we go. You get lots of soundtracks on there, so let's have Blue Mountains. I might quickly download. I can click on it to listen to it. That sounds nice and chilled. Click on plus and it will add it in from the start. If I want to move it, all I need to do is hold it down, and I can drag it along. And again, I can click on it, I can click on fade, and I can fade up the music so it goes from quiet to loud. It can take quite a while to do it. What I might also want to do is it automatically ends at the end, these soundtracks, so I don't need to worry about that. If I've imported my own song, it will go on till the end of the song. So I might click on it and trim it down a bit to get rid of the end. One other thing I can do, I can click on this microphone icon and record a voiceover. So let's do that. You can test it first to test your microphone. Click and record. Hello, this is a Super News. And that's fine. I can then redo it, listen to it again, or just be happy with it. There we go. So I am now. There we go. So I'm happy with this now. So all I need to do is right, ignore that. So this adds lots of presets on there. You can use these if you're doing something, maybe even something else. They can give you a new theme and make some pre-prepared and give you a pre-prepared sort of style. Again, it's not really necessary. We want the children to be in as much control as possible. Yeah, so that's done. So I'm going to click on done. It will take me back to the main menu. I can click on that. I can give it a name. Done. And then I can either play it or I can use the share button here to do something with it. I could, so I might send it to Google Drive, but what I can also do is save it to, here we go, save video. It will save it to my gallery, and then all I need to do is plug the iPad in. I can put it on a computer and upload something. There we go. And for the children, suggest small, because your iPads will fill up very, very quickly, and it usually takes a minute or two, depending on the length of the movie, to save. And that was exported. It's done.